What's going on, traders? Patrick Masters here with Parabolic Trading, and we're going to go over the watch list for June 10th. These are the stocks I will be watching to play. This list is quite extensive, but before I do anything, you might notice some new things here on my chart, right? You see these little dots here? Man, this is a smart trend filter that I had purchased from the Trade Risk. Man, Evan and his guys over, let me just give them a shout out. They are phenomenal people. I have purchased previous scans from them in the past that have been very instrumental in some very profitable trades for me here. Let me go ahead and bring up their site real quick here for you. Again, you can head it over to the traderisk.com. You can click the TC2000 Smart Trend Filters. Look, it may be a little pricey. Excuse me. You might think it's a little pricey, but again, if this does what I think it's going to do, it may change my trading big time. So again, this is, like you said right here, it's a Smart Trend Filter. It's custom price and volume-based indicator that they developed to measure the trend of stocks, ETFs. Man, and it's nice because it's all color-coded, right? So the way that you see this here, you can see on here, you've got the green, which shows you your bullish trends, right? You've got your yellow, which kind of tells you you're in a neutral state, right? So again, you may not want to be taking any positions at that point, or you may want to be getting out of certain positions based on the angle, the curvature, maybe the slope. And then of course you've got, the red, which shows you your bearish trends in the stock. But like I said, Evan and his guys here, they're great, they're amazing. Even when you have an issue with anything, whether it be like maybe like I know I had purchased a couple of scans before that didn't make sense to me. I just reached out to them. They are super quick to get in contact with you. I mean, it's like right here, it's 2:38 in the morning, right? I sent them an email going, hey, it's showing up one way on one chart and one way on another chart, but they're both using the daily charts. I mean, Evan's so amazing. He just got back with me, at 2 o'clock in the morning. So props to them. Again, head over there, check them out. I'm not being compensated. I'm not being asked to endorse or anything at all. He's just a really amazing person. Knows a buttload about TC2000. So again, they offer other services as well. You might want to check them out. They may be of interest to you. But again, Evan, I appreciate everything that you do. I appreciate all the hard work that you put into putting together these scans and things like this Smart Trend Filter, which again, I haven't really got to play with it too much because I just got the filter put on there tonight. But I'm going to spend some time this weekend going back and back testing and looking and seeing just how much these Smart Trend Filters really could have helped trade, maybe change some of my trades in the past. Especially on my losing ones. If I had this on my chart, would I have been able to avoid some of these losing trades? But again, it's definitely something that you might want to take a look at, right? But it looks nice and pretty, and I'm also, and just so you know, some of you all are going to be shocked, right? But I've kind of been reading some articles, and I'm flirting with the idea of maybe just taking some time and trying to remove moving averages as indicators on my chart to make it a little bit cleaner and see if that changes the way that I trade. I'm not going to hold my breath because, it's a habit, right? I'm so used to looking for 9s and 20s and 50s and 200s. And then, of course, on my intraday, I'm definitely looking for VWAPs as well. So again, I'm going to dabble here and there. I'm not going to do it in the most volatile part of the day. I'm going to trade the way I learn, the way that I teach my students. But again, I think as a trader, we always need to be thinking about, is there ways that we can improve our ability to be profitable consistently? And if there's something as simple as maybe removing moving averages, right? Taking your moving averages off of your chart, if it can make me see things a little bit more clearly, maybe give me opportunities that I would shy away from because maybe it's not fitting my exact pattern, then again, I may be able to adapt my pattern, so to speak. So again, it's not something that's final, but I just kind of want you to know in the future that if you do see some of my charts that do not have moving averages, don't freak out. I'm not abandoning them. I am experimenting, right? So again, I'm going to experiment using a paper trading account for that type of thing, right? Because I don't want to risk any real money, especially with something that may or may not be, advantageous to me, right? But anyway, so let's go ahead and go over what I'm watching for June 10th. The first thing I'm looking for is this Lake. Lake obviously had earnings out on 6/9, right, which was the previous day. And man, it was a nice move, right? Intraday, man, this thing looked tasty, right? Like it in the after hours, it shot from 16, right? 16 all the way up to like 24.50, right? So I've got this on watch for a day 2 continuation as far as the earnings play itself. Again, we're definitely too extended to take any sort of a swing on this. However, you may get some day trade action. We're not exactly overbought, right? As we can see right here, we're still under 80. For me to even think about taking it as a candidate for a rubber band snapback. Next on my list, I have RMBL. I do think that this has potential, right? I think it has potential, but I'm kind of waiting for this to kind of pull back because today would be like a day 4 play for this. So I'm not real confident. Again, it had nice range, right? But it pulled back, right? It pulled back. But man, still up $2.15. It could be either a potential quick hitter in the morning if it pushes up. However, I do expect some profit taking. So this could be a potential red to green play. And also, I would think red to green, maybe perhaps on Lake as well, if I didn't mention it. CLDR is another one I have on my list. This pulled back to the 20 and remounted the 9. This is my classic go-to swing pattern. However, I had such a good day today. I really wasn't paying much attention to it. I didn't take any swings into the close of the day. It was just way too hot, and frankly, I just didn't really care. I had a good day, right? So I didn't want to jinx it. I didn't want to push it. But again, this would have been a nice entry here, and perhaps it goes up tomorrow again. My only concern is we're going to need to kind of break this level right here for us to really have any real fun with it. But again, might want to put that on your list as well. BMRA, I think the reason I put this on my list was because, again, it's kind of been going down. Now, again, I'm trying to make heads and tails of it. So, again, anything I say regarding these smart trend filters, I may be incorrect. Perhaps Evan may check out these videos today or in the future and maybe kind of get in touch with me and let me know, hey, I'm misinterpreting the trend on this. Again, I'm just trying to kind of make sure I understand his trend filter before I go and try to present it as some sort of expert knowledge or any sort of training, or because again, I don't want to give you all wrong information, right? I want you all to be profitable, consistent traders each and every day. So I don't want to say, yeah, this is giving me the signal to just hold tight, right? And then really kind of not, right? So again, not everything is carbon copy, cut and dry, self-explanatory. So again, it's going to take me some time to get used to this and to make sure and back test, so that way there, when I do give you all ideas, that they are well-founded, well-researched, and absolutely well understood and quite competent. So, but again, my idea of putting this on my list is this stock has kind of been beaten down quite a bit. It's kind of just gone a lot of sideways here. I'm expecting this since it rebounded to 9, I do think it potentially, right? I mean, again, we're not that far away from the 20 or even the 50. My thought is I'm putting this on the list in the hopes that it remounts the 50, right? I don't really care if it remounts to 20. Remounts to 20, I kind of want to pay attention to it. If it remounts the 50, I do think maybe we might get some sort of a push. It's not an A+ setup, so again, it's just something I'm watching. It's not something that I probably won't even take. And it's almost the same thing here for this this QTNT, right? This quotient limited healthcare. Again, kind of just went sideways, dipped down, got back above the 20. However, this is nice because it's reclaimed its 200 SMA as well as the 20 SMA, right? And you've got a little bit of 9 curling underneath. That's not bad, right? So at worst case, I'm thinking maybe we can get back up here to around the 968 area, right? Again, not really what I want to do, but again, I'm not sure what kind of earnings play are going to be there tomorrow. There may be nothing. There may be nothing hot, right? So I want to kind of keep multiple things on my list because, again, sometimes when you think something ain't going to go, it goes. It just goes, right? Man, like the last couple of days, Nikola, I didn't think it was going to go, man, and it did. And, it's paid the bills the last 2 days. So I don't want to discount and be and have a specific kind of bias, whether it's to the long or the short side or even towards a specific stock. Just because I don't know the name or haven't played it doesn't mean it's not a good stock. It just means I haven't played it. So again, Love was a nice play today for me. Again, I got this on my list for a potential. I got this on my list for another potential. My only thing is that, man, this is kind of like an inverted doji, or like what do they call it, the inverted hammer. This doji candle here. I'm not a real big fan of this, right? There's too much wick, right? There's way more wick than there is body. So this could be a signal. Again, I think this was important for it to break above here. However, can it sustain it? I do think maybe we might open up a little bit red tomorrow. This could be a potential red to green play as well. This IFRX. I think the reason I put this on the list is because, one, it came down, hit the 50 SMA, and then just kind of bounced back up. And again, my whole thing is here, I'm not going to take this. I'm not even going to consider it until it remounts this 9. However, if I'm understanding Evans, excuse me, if I'm understanding his trend filters, this would kind of be a signal that, hey, perhaps we're bearish on this. And obviously with the 9 kind of curling down, it's kind of obvious. And of course, we get the 20 SMA that is starting to it went sideways, now starting to kind of curl over. So again, that kind of makes me think like, hey, this, his filters are actually giving me correct signals. Again, they're not going to be buy signals, sell signals, because again, I'm sure that these are great signals and they're great filters and they're great indicators. But as I've always say, it's just one piece of the puzzle, right? We don't buy anything based off of price. We don't buy anything based off of volume. We don't buy anything based off of any indicator, right? We're looking at all these different things to make a decision on whether a stock is worth our time, our mental capital, and our financial capital as an investment, right? Frankly, I don't want to take I just don't want to just take a stock and be taking it. Again, that's how you get crushed in trades, right? I also, on my list, I have put Veritone back on my list, right? I'm looking for a break of over $14. I think that's where the fun is, right? I think that's where the fun's going to be, is over this 14 level right up here. If we can get above this 14, I think we've got some really serious room. And as you can see, man, we've been up in this long-term trend, right? This bullish trend for quite a bit on this Veritone. It's not moving a whole lot, but man, it's nice. Like you've got some nice levels. You break the range here. You've had a nice pullback and a break of a range here. So we can kind of go back and we can see, so as I'm going through these, I can still kind of see how the trade risk and their smart trend filters is really kind of nailing things, right? Again, it's my whole thing is the neutral yellows are the ones I'm going to have to really sit here and kind of study a little bit, because again, I want to make sure I understand it. I have Piton on my list, right? The fact that Piton reclaimed its 9 today, again, I think this is hot. I think we do have some room up. This was just day 1 of the move. Hopefully there's a day 2 continuation. But again, Piton has been a nice trader in the past, and today's intraday was pretty nice, right? It opened at about 44, a little above 44.75, man, and it got up to $48, right? It got up to $48 right before the close of the day. So that's on my list for a day 2 continuation play. Facebook, I took for a swing this morning, and then of course I took profit, which was kind of silly on me. But again, we're up, Facebook, same thing. They've been in a bullish trend since at least the beginning of April, and it's probably just not going to stop. My biggest concern, the reason why I took profit was because, again, I don't know if it's going to break above this resistance level here. However, if it does, I may get back in, but again, not for a swing, because this will be on day 4 now. So you're a little too far to get in, right? Day 3. You got to consider where the move is. However, we have to, this is the reason why I wanted to take this as a swing today, right? I also almost took it as a day trade as well. But again, I was focused on Nikola. For those of you that seen my video, I got crushed early, and then I came back and kicked some ass, right? So again, once it broke this trend here, like I was all in on this morning. Of course, DraftKings was another one that I did okay on today. If I can look at this, now typically, this is where I think I'm going to need to kind of study these smart trend filters a little bit, because typically this is the kind of pullback and a hold of the green candle to hold. I should have taken this as a swing trade at the end of the day. However, I'm not real sure, right? Because if their trend filters are correct, this is kind of telling me we're going sideways, right? So again, I would have liked a little bit of a curl up here. However, it did hold its 9 EMA. Tomorrow's open, the price action is going to be key, right? I say tomorrow, it's really today, because it's almost 3 o'clock in the morning. But again, it's going to be key, right? So if it drops down, I'm going to wait for it to pull back to the 20 SMA and hold, and then hopefully a remount of the 9, which has been a go-to swing pattern for me this year that I'm 100% on, right? So again, I like this because it's easy for me. I ain't got to really stress. I can buy, and then I can just wait and pick my spot to take profits. OSTK, a little bit of tightening up here. You got the tightening of the 9 EMA. We're consolidating sideways. I'm looking for a break over 23 for some fun on this bad boy. You could take us on the swing if it breaks over 23. And also, day trading has kind of been, it's been doing pretty well for the last couple months, right? So again, we can see using the smart trend filters here. You got some neutral days. You got the bullish trend here, and then it kind of goes sideways a little bit. So again, they are kind of lining up. I'm interested to kind of figure out, just how much tightening there is between these trend filters and my moving averages. So again, if I end up taking moving averages off my charts for a while, I will probably have to readjust how I'm understanding things. So again, I don't claim to be any sort of an expert. I'm just profitable, and that's what we all should try to be. Nugget, I always have on my chart every day. Not really probably interested to play it tomorrow. This LBGO, I'm still looking for a break above the 62. So we've been kind of going sideways. We've been consolidating in this little range here, right? We've been consolidating in this little range here for the last couple weeks. I'm looking for a break here. I do think once we get this break, we are in business, right? I think this will be a nice mover. Let's see, fiber, I still have on my chart. I took a trade for a swing in that, and I just got stopped out today. Really with a dumbass trade on my part. I oversized, but then again, I was doing well in certain areas, so I had a little bit of false confidence, maybe even arrogance, if you will. And of course, I paid for it. I'm waiting for a remount of the 20 SMA. However, it's very well possible that this thing falls down to the 50 SMA, or could fall potentially down to the 50 SMA. So we've got room from 62 all the way down here to 46. So again, I'm okay if it turns over. I just need to figure out how to play it, right? I need to know whether I need to have a long or short bias on this. And right now, we're kind of going sideways. We're flattening out our EMAs, at least on the 20. The 9 is curling down. So there's a good possibility if we can get that 20 to curl over top, I will short fiber. I really don't care. I'll make money either way to the long or the short side. It doesn't bother me one single bit. Nikola, man, this thing, I think this is primed for a massive short tomorrow, right? Massive short tomorrow. I do think the stochastics will get up over 80, perhaps even 90 in the morning. I do expect some sellers to take profit early. Again, but I thought it was going to short today as well. But we are just so extended, right? We're so extended. And it's crazy, right? We're even more extended today than we were yesterday. JNUG, I still have on my list. It's really not doing a whole hell of a lot. Again, we're now it's kind of, I think it's kind of getting close to getting into that bearish trend. We got the 9 EMA curling over top. However, if it does remount the 20, we do have some upside at least until about 105, perhaps maybe a little bit more. But again, I think there's going to be hotter plays. At least I hope so. Because if I'm playing JNUG and a Nugget or JDST or Dust, it means I don't really have any other hot plays to play. And again, I'm just kind of really tired of playing the QQQs quite a bit, right? I'll still hit TVIX every once in a while. But again, that's kind of what I'm looking at. There's Dust as well. SFLY, right? This Fastly Incorporated. Man, it pulled back to the 20 today and remounted the 9. However, it ended up red on the day. So again, if I can get a green candle to hold, right? Because even though it pulled back to the 20 and remounted the 9, doesn't mean I'm going to get into it. I still need a green candle to hold. I still need to stick to my pattern. If I don't get a green candle to hold, there's no way I really want to be in this trade. However, I am kind of watching this level here. If we can get above, right? If we can break this level right here, I think we have a shot to go even higher, right? And it might even be all-time highs. Yeah, this is an IPO stock from the middle of last summer, right? So again, I do think we have an opportunity to go to push all-time highs. I would like a little bit of a tightening of the 9 EMA, and I would like a little curling up as well. ACB, I don't think I've ever seen a more bipolar stock over, actually since I started trading, right? Over my trading career, this stock is just days when you think it's shit, it goes. And days when you think, man, it's going to go, it's shit, right? So it had a pretty decent day the day before. However, today was just kind of like this, this right here kind of just, I don't know. I really don't know what it's. To me, it's kind of signaling it's going to give me a little bit more bearish action. However, if I look at the smart trend filter, it looks like we're still in that neutral trend where it's just kind of in that range. I needed to break the range either to the upside or the downside before I really think about taking it for any sort of serious trade. PIN, it's also on my list here. I am watching this for a potential short. However, according to the smart trend filters, it would be counter trend. However, as we know, when something actually is curling over with the 9, it's you don't really want to kind of go against that trend. So again, I need to kind of make sure I understand how the trend filter is. Again, Evan, if you watch this, hit me up and let me know if my line of thinking is correct regarding how your trend filters calculate things. Because again, if this curls over tomorrow, I'm going to think at some point this is going to be yellow, right? Again, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. It'll be interesting to find out, right? So I'll be learning a lot of new stuff tomorrow along with you all. So SBGI, which is Sinclair Broadcast, man, I had watched this thing for a break right here, and I kept wanting to take it as a swing, and I just didn't pull the trigger. I don't have much faith, especially in any sort of broadcast. And maybe it's because I have a bias against news, whether it be fake news, CNN, MSNBC, and yes, even at times Fox News is just as fake, right? Regardless of my political leanings or whatnot. But again, this right here, it was outside the Bollinger Band and it was oversold. So this could have been a good, nice rubber band snapback for today. But you only got, it got down to like 22.90 and then it just, I don't know. just really not my thing, right? Like, I wouldn't want to risk anything massive on that. However, that 24.30 all the way down to 22.90 was not a bad move intraday. We have RCL. I still have it on my list. Interesting that it popped down, busted down through the 90 MA, and then popped back up. Again, I have this on my list. I'm waiting for tightening up. I'm not looking to really do anything with this. I do have this on there just so I kind of keep it in my mind. So again, I don't have this on there for any particular type of play for tomorrow. It's just merely as a watch, as something I'm watching. Same thing for UAL. LK, excuse me, that's the third time I've coughed tonight. Corona, just kidding. I have no corona. LK, it's we're kind of like in between, right? This is that indecision candle, right? I don't know if it's going to go up or down. However, again, going by the smart trend filters here, I'm assuming that we're still in a bullish trend for this. I do think it needs, at least at the very least, some consolidation, maybe a pullback, or the green candle to hold at 9. It could be a potential. It just needs a rest. I mean, it pushed up so high, right? It came from $2, or I think it was like around 209. Yeah, it was like around 209. I took it as a swing trade at 209, and I got out at 649. But I think this day it started at 204. But yeah, it needs to pull back and kind of just rest a little bit, right? That was a big ass move, especially for a company that hadn't been able to trade for a very long time, right? Since at least the first week, the second week of April. So again, give it some time, let it percolate, let it kind of rest up, and wait for the run. And this was an idea I had today that I said would be great for a potential short, and sure enough, it was, right? You got $2.29 down on the day. So you could have taken this short at the open, and you could have wrote it down to about $18.75, which was lower than what it closed at for the day. So you could have made some decent money. SRG is still on my list. Again, I'm waiting for this to pull back. That's the only thing I'm waiting for. Right? We're way too extended to take any sort of swing trade on this, as well as it being down on the day. There's really no way. I don't think we're going to get any sort of a bounce tomorrow. We just need to kind of let it kind of percolate, pull back. I want a nice orderly pullback. If it dumps, I'm just coming off my list, right? I need nice orderly pullback. So we've had some really, really nice increasing volume in the previous 3 days. Again, give me smaller red candles for the next couple days. Let it give me a green candle to hold it at 9, and I will be more than happy to get back in and make some money on that. So that is my watch list that I have for today. Again, this does not include any PR or earnings plays. Those won't be available to me for a little bit. I probably should have waited about an hour, and I probably could have made a video with the pre-market. But again, nothing is going to show up at 4 o'clock, or if it does, it'll be quick, and it may just come off my scanner just as quickly. However, but again, if you could take a moment, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified each and every time I upload a video, so you do not miss out on potential plays for the day. Again, I just want to remind you all, the ideas that I'm giving you here, they're just ideas. There are no guarantees. I'm not telling you should take something. Obviously, if anything that you take, you're doing so at your own risk. I'm just merely providing ideas that could potentially be profitable. Then again, you could potentially lose your ass on it, right? So it's up to you. If you want to take my ideas and run with them, awesome. If not, that's totally cool too. I take nothing personal because, again, some days I have great watch lists, some days I have shitty ones, right? But I can only work with what I'm given. I can only work with what the market gives me on a day-to-day basis. So, again, and before we close real quick, let's just take a look at the SPY. The SPY, like I said this morning, we really kind of need to consolidate or better yet, pull back, right? We need to just kind of pull back here. We have been ripping for so long, right? According to the smart trend filter, man, it's really kind of started to change right around here the first week of April. And we can see by the candle action, it just starts ripping up. But man, as it got sideways, it started tightening up, at least with the smart trend filter here. And then, of course, it starts ripping, and man, you can see the angle of the smart trend filter starts gradually going up. So again, I kind of think this is going to be really awesome. And again, one more time, I want to thank Evan and the guys at Trade Risk for offering something like this. Again, it may turn out to be something that's just not really useful to me, but it may be useful to other people. And again, if you ever want to go there, and I mean, just to kind of real quickly, not to, I don't want to be a shill for them because they sure didn't ask me. But again, if I pull this up here real quick, you can kind of see some of the, here, I'll take you real quick and just show you some of the scans that they have. Let's see, they have the TC2000 stock scans. And they got some things that are really, really nice, right? So if you're looking for like doji candlesticks, again, I don't teach those. But again, I mean, it'd be interesting to learn, right? I mean, I'm always wanting to learn and expand new things. But again, a lot of these doji candles, I don't really understand. However, you can get a scan that gives you the inside days. I don't know what a tweezer is. I'm assuming it's the inside, like it's my indecision, right? So that might be kind of cool. And again, they got another tweezer top. Not really sure. Haven't really gone through a lot of them. But again, I do have some of them. The ones I really, really enjoy. Let's see. Let me scroll down here. I do have. I think I have a fresh 10-day breakout scan. I do have the breakdown scan, I believe. Either that, I know I have breakout and breakdown. Either I got them from them or I actually put those together. I'm not real sure. The tight highs and lows bundle. This is interesting. This will probably be the next scan that I do purchase from them, because I do like to have things like, I won't see everything, right? And the more things I can have pop up on a scan, the less time I have to spend going through thousands of charts. Because honestly, on any given day, I just need one or two good ideas. Sometimes I'll give myself way more, perhaps a little bit of information overload, but I like to be able, and plus I'm also trying to give you all ideas as well. So I'm not just looking for me, I'm kind of looking for you all. The breakout failure scan, that's kind of interesting. I do have pullback scans that I believe that I got from them directly. And then of course, they got some free ones as well. But they got some bull bear gap scans. That would be nice, right? That's nice. And if you can get some gap up week closes, or gap down week closes, this would be really, really, or maybe strong closes. But I mean, there's some really, really gap down recovery scan. Those are nice, right? And if there's something that you really, really want, I know that they actually do custom coding. I do use the strongly turning stock scan, and I've actually used it not just for daily for my scans. I also use it for intraday, right? So I modify the time frame that allows me to see things intraday. The tight high scan, I don't have that one. The reclaiming the 200 SMA, which is really nice. And again, I'm not trying to step on their foot or anything, but if you can take this and create reclaiming the 200 SMA, you could also do the same one that will reclaim the 50, reclaim the 20, reclaim the 9, or maybe even reclaim the VWAP, right, for intraday. So it's really customizable, and I think it's really awesome that they've offered these scans available. I do have of course I have all the free ones that they have, because again, that's why I found that their stuff actually kind of worked for me. Made a couple winning trades, and I felt like, hey, you know what? I made some money off these scans, so I kind of wanted to give some love back to them. And again, and everything that I bought from them has actually been has led to me making more profits than I probably would have made without it. Again, so props to them for coming up with these ideas. But again, like I said, if you want to get the smart trend filter scan, it's right here on their website. It's called the TradeRisk.com. Man, it's awesome. Like, again, thank you guys so much for making this possible, Evan. And for you all that want to follow me on Instagram, it is at Parabolic Trading. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/Parabolic Trading LLC. And also you can follow me at Twitter at LLC Parabolic. And of course, naturally, our website, ParabolicTradingLLC.com. Thanks a lot, guys. And have a great day today. Be safe. I will do a live stream at 9 o'clock again where we'll go over my list that will be refined, and of course any PR and earnings. And again, man, we're still doing our boot camp. If you want to join, it's not too late. I've already given the information, and we still have the bailout code. So we had the 60% off coupon code for bailout 60, right? So other than that, guys, stay safe and take your trading parabolic today. Peace.